Well, it's very close to 12 p.m. Eastern, and you happen to be watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'll be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Well, welcome to episode 377 of Mods on Air, bringing you the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I am Foyleman, and also on the show today we have with us Welshy. Hello, Welshy.
Hello.
Hello, and we also have with us Ham. Hello, Ham.
Hello.
Breezy has made it to the show. Hello, Breezy.
Hello.
And Stryder's with us. Hello, Stryder.
Hello.
So, let me remind you all, before we begin, that it's Mother's Day, and if you haven't gotten a gift, you better get out there and go get it. Right after the show, though. This show is recorded. This show is recorded before a live audience, of which you may be a part. You don't have to be a part of it, though, because we post it at the end of the week for you to watch on your own time. But we will post the relevant URLs into the chat window in case you care to follow on the other links that are posted there. Click on them all you want. See what happens. Finally, for those of you who haven't heard the show before, there may be some explicit language or adult themes. There will be some explicit language or adult themes. There will be. So at the end of the show, I expect to see your permission slips signed by your mother. Or,
This
I'm
does not
going to have to...
constitute as a gift.
All right, so how is everyone today?
Meh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
yeah. Still alive.
Wow.
I've been
What a
living
lively
in
group.
Vancouver for a year yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Congrats,
No,
and you
yeah.
haven't died.
And he's still
I haven't
alive.
died.
Yeah.
Still alive.
And he's going to have to run over to some sort of border for a day, right? Really soon?
Yeah, some
Yeah.
point in the next 2 months.
He's only allowed to be there for so many months before he gets kicked out, and then he pretends to be someone else, gets his passport redone, and comes in as I don't
just
know.
put a mustache and fake glasses. Got boots.
What's your name? Moshimo.
Yeah. All right, so let's get on with the show. We have a few topics here to talk about, and I'm sure many of you need to run out and get your mom something and get over and see her real quick. So let's start off with a little console stuff that's going on. There is a new console out there called, or about to be called, Game Pop. That's supposed to be. Is this on Kickstarter or something like that? I think it is. Anyway, this is going to be called Game Pop, and it's going to have a Netflix-like monthly subscription, which I guess is not a crazy idea, right?
It's been done before. The monthly
Online?
subscription for. Online and something else called Game Tap.
Yeah, but on those systems, can you play games such as Fruit Ninja?
I don't think so.
How much is Fruit Ninja if you were to just buy it and play it on your phone? Is it $6.99 a month? Because that's what this is.
I just go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
with
With a samurai
sword.
With a samurai sword.
Excuse me, sir, what are you doing? Oh, it's okay. I've got the app.
Well, I think this thing is going to be an Android emulator or something like that. It's going to be playing on Android, and it's going to... they say it's going to have 500 plus top games. I don't know what's considered a top game and how there could be more than 500 of them.
That's because they're on the bottom, and so when everything is on the bottom, it's all the top.
Words of wisdom there.
If you set the bar low, then
Then everybody passes.
Kind of like being the best serial killer ever. You don't tell you. It's not a good thing.
I don't know what to make of this. Is silly. I'm not sure who's going to pay so much a month to play phone games on their TV.
Exactly, that's essentially all it is phone games you can play on your mobile, but on your big
On
TV.
your TV. Yeah.
I don't even know if this thing's going to cost you money to buy the console itself, and then you have to pay this fee. I'll bet you do.
Oh, it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
It is going to cost you.
That was a bit aggressive.
Oh, it's gonna.
Oh,
cost
it is
you.
going to cost you.
I think it's going to be.
first you
I think
must sign over your soul.
if you pre-order it or do something before it actually releases, you can get the console for free. But after that, it's gonna cost.
Wait.
I think about $100.
No, hold on. If you pre-order it, it's free.
If you
How does that work?
There's something weird going on. I forgot the details of the article, but there's something weird, like maybe a discount or something, where you don't have to pay $100 to get the actual box. I don't
have to
know
buy
that
all the games. $100 to buy all the games. And they'll send you the console for free, but you have to pre-order all the games.
In fact, let's see.
I cannot think of many better things to do than doing games.
He's looking it up, I guess. I don't know. I'm playing the video that came with the.
As you play that, I'll look it up really quick.
20 months old, he's already playing. Oh, they just pick it up and use it. I'm like, of course they do.
Kids just pick it up and use it.
Yeah. Well, it's all special needs.
When you're looking at your phone, you're looking through a small window, and you're really not encompassing your vision with very much. But a television, you're talking a really big screen.
Imagine your smartphone.
So you're playing on the phone. Your phone is the controller for the
know.
So you get,
No, I saw that in the video. The phone is the
That's
controller.
the future of the gaming in the pretty short term, actually.
I want to see my game playing on a big screen.
It's the future for, like right now, and then it's done. Short term.
Yesterday's technology today.
Looking awesome.
Oh my god, look at that. Wow.
soon to be under the rock of obscurity with.
It really does multiply the experience.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Or for the same price, you can get yourself an OUYA without the subscription.
How do you guys do this?
Yeah.
And be just as
Well.
disappointed.
Well, maybe
Nothing to play.
maybe you can get the OUYA, I should say, because it's been delayed again. It's delayed. Yep,
It's a
delayed till the
game
20th.
on
I'm
TV.
They even
Soon, my
look similar.
friends.
Yeah, I think I'm done with Kickstarter. I'm not even going to go to the website anymore.
See?
It's over.
Yep,
I've not backed anything on Kickstarter.
I've
No, I
backed
never have.
too many things.
Well, that's exactly my point. It's like you seem to throw money at these things and then they never get made, or it's delayed and it's delayed again, or it does get made and it's not anything near what you expected.
And if you complain about it being delayed and delayed and delayed, then other people fight back saying, well, you what this Kickstarter thing is you giving money into this whole alpha build of a system, and you know what? There's some truth to that, but that's not why I gave them money. I gave them money because I wanted the product at the time that they suggested it might be done.
I
but-
just don't. I don't see the point of putting money into something that's not even that potentially might even not get made. Like
My theory as far as Kickstarter goes is, yeah, that looks cool. I'll buy it when it comes out.
There you go.
When it actually comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just looked, and I know it doesn't make sense what I said earlier, where it's like, well, how can you pre-order the console, the Game Pop thing? I forgot exactly what argument you just threw at me, but it is the case where I'm on their website and it says if you pre-order the Game Pop thing, then you will you don't have to pay $100 to actually buy it.
So what are you giving them? Are you giving them $100 per pre-order? I mean, how can you pre-order? I mean, can I? I'm lost.
Okay, there we go. Okay, it took a moment to think about what you said again. Yes, so it's like, so when am I? If it's free, then shouldn't everybody just pre-order it? And I don't know, because when I click pre-order, it asks my credit card. So
not free.
maybe you pay
Lies.
shipping and handling. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But yeah, it says only through the month of May.
I got a free on live console. Doesn't mean I ever got to use it. I got two of them. So did Stryder. We got a bunch of free consoles.
That did nothing.
It looked pretty in the box.
Yeah.
Beautiful package design.
Yes, beautiful packaging.
It only cost us a couple hours of waiting online.
Mm.
See, free. That
So
wasn't free.
yeah. So that is to say, I don't know. You pre-order this thing, and it says that you get it for free because after May it's going to cost $100 to get this thing, to have the privilege to pay $6.99 a month. So maybe you just pay for shipping and handling or something when you pre-order it. It's how can you pre-order something that's free? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm a little confused on that one. Okay. Doesn't matter because they're not getting my money.
The thing with the OUYA, I was thinking the other day, is the actual idea of it is great, and you might see some good things in the future, but because it's got nothing on release, you're never going to get to the future because it's going to be dead before it gets there.
You say there's nothing on release, but there is a lot of games already scheduled for release with the device.
Yeah, but are the games worth playing?
No, but they still have a lot on release.
OUYA now comes with solitaire.
Mine's
not actually on your TV. It comes with a deck of cards for you to play solitaire with.
Yeah, I think they said that the reason this thing is being held up is because they wanted to change the way the controller worked, because there was something about part of it's not working.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, yeah, exactly.
All right.
Hopefully they take that opportunity.
But if you really, really like all these Kickstarters, then maybe this one's for you. This one only costs about $116,000, just over $116,000. You'll get a scaled-down F1 Formula Racing car with monitors attached to it, so that you can play a racing game in it. I'm not sure where you're putting it.
I know exactly. I know somebody who will be already buying this if you tell them.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Really?
the same.
Oh yeah. I bet Breesy knows what I'm talking about as well.
I know exactly who he's on about.
You know, I said it was scaled down. I'm wrong. It is full scale.
Oh god.
Where would you put it?
The garage.
In your basement? In your bedroom if you're that much
next to your little sex dungeon thing that we had on the show.
Game box thing.
Jeez.
I just in my head I have this image of the little kid with those scaled down cars that people used to get that maybe you can
to sleep
in the back or something.
Beds,
yeah,
racing car beds, and the
somebody's just making car sounds.
So if you look, it's got the 3 monitors, but I'm not sure. But I think they put phone-size monitors in the rear views, so those actually work too. So you can see what's going on behind you.
I mean, it's pretty cool, but meh.
How much was it?
116,000.
I can make a much better one out of paper mache.
It says 140,000 on the website.
Oh, well, the article I have says 116,650 US. Maybe that's why.
Let's go back.
If the car was actually working, then I'd be very interested.
I don't know what the shipping will cost you. No, it says about 75,000 pounds.
And this is 140.
I hope that includes shipping. Then that price.
Maybe the price went up already. Yeah.
How would you get it in the house?
Yes, I know.
Probably in bits.
One piece at a time.
I'd hate to see that sort of manual about putting it together.
Oh, you need a pit crew.
It comes from Costco.
You know it comes with one really small dodgy Allen key.
Oh yeah. All right. Well,
that is ridiculous.
If you have a spare $116,000, then you must have a place to put it. Unless you can buy it on layaway.
Oh, you get the Oculus Rift. Put the Oculus Rift with that.
That'd be kind of cool.
Then you don't even need the car.
Right.
But no, you still get the car because you get to sit in the car.
With the Oculus Rift, though, you wouldn't know. It wouldn't matter. You wouldn't see it.
But you'd be able to feel that you're sitting in the car.
Yeah. I'll sit in my truck and then look around, and it'll look like I'm in the car.
Accidentally taking the handbrake off on your driveway.
Yes.
You're already rolling down the hill. There's people screaming, and you're just sitting.
All right. Away from that and moving on to some more Kickstarter stuff. We have Alice. We have American McGee. I don't know if you guys remember that Alice game that American McGee made. Well, he plans on doing a revival of Alice. It says revival.
But why is it on Kickstarter?
Last
Because
one came out
I
like
don't
a couple
know.
years ago.
Yeah, and
I'm disgusted by Kickstarter. This is just all it's turning into now is a giant online panhandling website.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off, get a job. Invest your own fucking money and
fast.
stop panhandling, you
Yeah.
whiny fucking bitches.
I know
Seriously.
when I read, I want to say maybe late last year, an interview with Alice McGee or whatever, American McGee. Sorry. He basically said that EA had some ownership of the Alice iteration that he created, and that he wasn't sure if he'd be able to create another sequel despite his wanting to. And now all of a sudden he's like on Kickstarter with it. So I wonder what happened exactly with the IP.
Is aiming for launch in July if negotiations with EA, who previously published the title, goes well. So he's already talking to EA about it, so then why does he need the money?
Probably
because EA probably says, prove that there's an audience, so go to Kickstarter.
Or EA's like, hey, let's get these other people to pay for it. Since they're all cranky about paying for microtransactions, let's get them to pay their microtransactions up front. You know, seriously.
I don't know.
I'm tired of Kickstarter. I was tired of it a long time ago.
No, you were. Yep. You warned us all.
It just seems so weird. It's like, weren't your other games successful enough that you can sort of partially fund this on your own, or at least come up with some sort of proof of concept to show that, like, hey, the game's almost done. I need just a little bit of money, I don't know, for translation to other languages or something. I don't
think it was that successful. His other games, I think, made him enough that he could make another game, which pretty much failed. Remember, he was doing something that was episodic, and then we never heard another thing about it after like a couple episodes. So very weird looking
Grim Fairy
like,
or something.
I would say this game, because this is the Madness Returns game. Well, that was the latest one. I'd say that has enough of a almost cult following to surely be viable as a business decision for EA. Like, why the hell would you not make this game? I think it is literally what Stryder is saying is, hey, we can get other people to pay for it.
That's the case though. If your game was good enough, you should have money.
Exactly.
To warrant a sequel. If it wasn't good enough, why are you doing a sequel?
Well, here's the other thing too that a company like EA or Activision would do. They'd say, well, it was profitable, but it didn't make enough money, and so then you have the situation where it's like, if it's not the next Call of Duty, they just don't want to have any part of it anymore.
Well, but then
that sounds like being profitable.
How long until we see Call of Duty on Kickstarter?
Oh,
exactly.
Sure
I would not. That would not surprise me one bit if it was
Call
on
of Duty revival.
Yeah, you get to be part of the game now because you get to buy a piece of it. And it's literally no, because now we have to spend like a fifth of the money because we can just get all these people to pay for the development.
They should do it.
It's horrible. It's horrible. If Kickstarter, and the problem is Kickstarter had no boundaries or guidelines when they set up to do this. The thought process behind it is great. Hey, I've got this idea. I'm an indie developer. I want to get this idea going. If there's enough people behind me, then hey, it's a crowdsourced, crowd funded. The problem is they're like, you know what? It's not being utilized for that. What comes to the mainstream or to the front lines is stuff where there's big developer backings with these huge, our thing hit its $1 million goal in 2 weeks. Yeah, well, you had one donation from a major backer. Why is it even on Kickstarter if Activision or EA is going to drop $1 million on it? There is 0 point to that, because all you're doing is you're diluting the ideal of Kickstarter for the people that could benefit from it to try and quash indie development. And I mean, I'm speaking totally on the basis of games, video games and game development. But, you know, that translates over to anything else. If you've got an idea to develop something that's going to, I don't know, something to do with surgery where, hey, this is a brand new surgical device and it's going to save millions of lives. It's already fully funded by the U.S. government, but I'm out there trying to get some more money. What is the purpose of putting that on Kickstarter? You're taking away that potential developmental grant money from people that could develop something else. You're already fully funded. Fuck off.
So we can blame Kickstarter. Yeah. Not the people that are putting it up there.
Like in the case of this game, it's very much like they clearly have the ability to develop a title by themselves, or not necessarily exactly by themselves, but they've already done like 2 of these games, or maybe even 3 of them. I don't even remember. It's like, why do you need the extra money?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've done 2 that were, you know, okay, right, they didn't do amazing, but EA can see a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't need to be on Kickstarter.
We've got to get one of these.
Recently, I came up with a new way of thinking. When these people start asking, well, can I make payment plans on a project, or can I Kickstarter something? I'm thinking, you can also go out and get a credit card and fund it yourself because it's that so well, you know, it's going to be so well received according to you. Fund it yourself.
Yeah, why not? But this is why we need to get one of these high-profile people on the show, so we can grill them about this.
Yeah, I guess the other problem is that if you're fully funded by Kickstarter, there is no legal repercussions. After you're fully funded, you get the money. There is nothing other than your own morals that would keep you from just saying, "Hey, thanks for the money. Game's not going to work. I'm going to Jamaica."
That's already happened, isn't it?
A couple times. And there is no repercussions. It's like, yeah, you're fully funded, and looks like you shut down. Interesting. Oh, and you bought a Learjet. How did that happen? Where did this diamond encrusted Rolls Royce come from? Yeah. But and like I said, unfortunately, it's not being used for what it should be.
Is there any way to save it, you think, or is it over? It's just
I don't. I think Kickstarter is gone down a path that it's
I wouldn't say it's
not able to come back from. And if it does, then everybody's going to drop it like a hot turd in a bad paper bag, because it's going to just not be what they want to. Everybody's jumped on board to try and milk something from it now, and as soon as they're not able to get that easy milking money, then it's going to not work. So that's, I think, why they haven't installed any rules, any liability or accountability into it, because the second they do, Kickstarter will end.
And it's just, I thought I heard a quick news blip earlier this week, and it turns out it is the case. Donald Trump launches a Kickstarter clone called Fund Everything. Like, why is this guy getting involved with
because
funding?
He needs new hair. Seriously, his old hair is not good, so he needs new hair.
Well, we should see what he's going to try and do differently. Maybe nothing, and then it's a waste of time. Maybe something that's important. Don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe so.
Right. I'm not going to go and look for it now.
Maybe he'll fund Obama's campaign. Not. Okay.
Fund printed copies of his birth certificate, Mike.
Yeah. All right. Let's move along.
Let's move on to
before we get into way too much trouble.
Moving swiftly onwards.
Move on to how ShopTo is going to refuse to stock Call of Duty Ghosts. See, what's going on here is that Activision has decided to really pull in the reins on some sort of policy that they've always had, where you cannot release a game before its release date. However, they've given some lenience to shipping companies such as GameStop or maybe ShopTo or whatever, or Amazon.com, so that they know that the item can be delivered on the day of release to these people. So Or what?
Just throwing it out there. Is it because they refuse to give Activision a big bunch of money for like pre-order exclusives?
I don't know.
Because if you think about it, GameStop, a couple of the other ones, there's always like, only at GameStop, if you pre-order this, you get like this gun.
Yeah.
I bet you they said, no, can we just stop the game? Stop the game? And they were like, no, you have to give us some money.
The article mentioned something about how Activision wasn't going to allow them to ship it a little bit early so that it gets to the customers by the time
what I was
the
getting
game is
at.
released.
Exactly. So the people who order it to have delivered would be actually getting it at least a day late, as opposed to the people who came to the store to pick it up. And they don't think that's fair, and they think they're going to stand their ground and say we won't even carry the game at all, which, I don't know, that could also be very bad for them because they're not making sales that they could otherwise be making. I don't know what you also think about this policy, because at the same time you can go online and just download it and start playing it when it's released these days. Oh, of course, you're not going to have the box copy, because some of you guys, I know, you like the box, as opposed to having to have Steam or Origin or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, because it's coming out exclusively on the new Xbox to start, and then everything else will be 3 or 4 months later.
When you get it, if you chose to get it on PC, even if you get a box copy, you're going to end up downloading on Steam anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Half install usually, half on the desk and then half download.
It's not even half and half anymore, is it? It's like, here's the CD keys on the disc.
Yeah.
And you just download the entire thing.
Good luck.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it is. You put the disc in and it starts downloading.
Yeah, I've seen that with fairly recently. You put the disc in and it's like, product key activated on Steam, and it just starts downloading. It takes you like 7 hours, it's like 8-9 gig of downloading.
And the reason I go out and buy a box copy is so I don't have to do that download, because everyone knows it takes me around 6 years.
You go buy a box copy of Guild Wars 2, you end up with two full DVDs to install, and then you still have to download.
Guild Wars 1.
19. No, it didn't. Mine's on 2. Got it right here.
No, it is 2. I tell a lie.
2 full DVDs. Yeah, 1 and 2. Disc 1 and 2. Anyways, but yeah, and then you have to download the whole game as patches. But
yeah,
whatever.
Well, their point is that the customer is the one that ends up getting hurt because they do an order and then they complain because they don't get it the day of, and so ShopTo doesn't want to be put in that position and wants to make a stand.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
you know what the special?
admirable.
I've heard what the special order. One of the special order things is going to be with this. You know how they always got like some sort of shiny,
like a Jeep. Yeah.
Yeah, like a Jeep or
no, you're going to get a balaclava, an official Call of Duty balaclava.
Ooh.
Does it come with like instructions on bank robbery?
No, it's going to have like that ghost mask, and that's going to be it.
Where do I pre-order?
Exactly. See, another.
Really?
Zombie.
Another customer.
By the way, for those of you
at Activision for the same shit.
For those of you who don't know what that is, it is a mask. All right.
It's like a ski mask.
A ski mask.
A ski mask.
Ugh, I can't even give you a picture of it.
I think in the eastern states they call them toboggans with faces in them.
One of those guys. I hope release dates in general sort of start to fade away. Once the game is done and it's been tested enough, just sort of release it.
Test?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening? The whole
testing costs time and money, and somebody might accidentally discover that it's like a piece of crap. You don't want that.
There will forever be release dates.
Well, we can test it for them.
Forever there will be release dates because it is the only way to coordinate media hype with the release of a product.
That's what it is. It's all coordinated. And exactly, Morphus. It's the same engine, yet they're saying it's a brand new gaming engine.
It's a new engine.
It's the same fucking engine.
They were all locked into a room and told to make a brand new engine, and they did it.
Yeah.
They just renamed.
How can we make a brand new engine?
Copied and pasted.
Yeah. How can we make the brand new engine? Let's Let's take the old engine and say it's brand new. They'll never know. Okay,
never
yeah,
know.
let's do that.
But the thing is that the Xbox people and the console people, they'll believe it's a new engine.
Yeah.
Because they have
Well,
no
like that
idea
one-
about engines.
That one forum post every year this time of year, someone posts a Crisis video
Funny.
and says it's
That
the
was
new Call of
hilarious.
Duty leaked gameplay. No, it isn't. It's the same video you posted last year that said it
I
was.
hope, if you looked at the YouTube comments on that, I hope every single one of those was like joking. Because if not, we're screwed. I'm leaving this planet. I'm done.
No, there is from GDC this year. There was a presentation about some people that I'm not. It was linked to Activision. I'm not sure if they actually worked for Activision, but a lot of headlines said that it was an Activision engine. Like Activision, I guess, employed some people to create a graphics engine, and they gave a presentation, and it was just a lot of hoopla about look at this face and look how realistic it is.
That was
Yeah,
it
but
was pre-rendered though, was it not?
it was no, supposedly it was real time, and all the journalistic sites pretty much said this could be the new face of Call of Duty, and so there was this.
Oh,
Yeah, this,
But who cares? Because
Teacher?
people only buy
Teacher?
it for multiplayer.
Teacher?
okay. What's
Teacher? Because they cover everybody's face with masks, so they don't have to do any facial animation. What?
Maybe that's what they added to the engine. A new facial animation rig.
They have a new facial animation rig covered with masks. Oh no, it's brand new. You just can't see it.
Very realistic.
No,
We fixed all those lip syncing
Don't buy the new
issues.
Call of Duty and go buy World at War. It's the only one worth buying.
exactly.
That
I
was-
can't
that was
believe
a good
you're
one.
playing World at War. I've actually downloaded
I
that.
still play it with Corby and all. Pretty much every night we play World at War.
Here's the thing.
Great
just
game.
Call of Duty fans are resistant to change. They pretty much like it how it is. The speed, the damage that weapons take, all that stuff. They all like it. So if you create a new engine and you make the same exact game in the new
Can't fix
engine, what's the point?
Well,
Yeah.
it's more than that. They don't need to. Why change something that they know
Yeah.
they're going to sell 1 million copies of? What's the point?
Yeah.
We can make
The
like
thing is, I
20
quite
million
like
off
the
this.
way it handles. I quite like the way Call of Duty feels. It's just, one, the maps are shit. Two, it's been the same engine for ages, so it's nothing new to look at. Like, just take how it plays and just make it better.
It is unique. I played a round of the free weekend on Steam right now for Black Ops 2. I just played just one round, and I did notice it was like, okay, this does feel different from a lot of other games in terms of just sort of, I don't know, just the general everything. But it is the same thing, the same feel, just game after game after game, like you said, and same maps or shit maps.
They are terrible.
Mm.
The thing
I
is, they
haven't
tried
bought
to
one
speed
for-
it up too quickly. And
I
like
haven't bought
World
one
of
of
War,
those
you'd
games
sit
for
there
like
for
3
ages.
years, and I won't.
It's still World of War.
I think I still have that installed.
Which is the last title that you can mod on.
Yes.
Or not, and you know what? Some people have accused me of being biased in that sense. It's not. I'm not biased against the title. World at War is. It was fun. I've sunk so many hours into that, as well as just about
Especially
every
the
title
zombies.
before that.
Zombies is good.
But when they took the modding out of it, they changed not only the game and the way the game played, but they've turned people into purchasing zombies, because all you're doing is you're new game, here's my wallet. Every time a bell rings, you give Activision your wallet. And that's what it does. It rings every year. Here's my wallet. Ding, here's my wallet. Ding, here's my wallet. And you're not thinking about what you're getting. You're getting no value for your money. You're buying it because everybody else is buying it. Well, if Activision rang a bell and told you to jump off a bridge, okay, here's my wallet first, though.
As long as it's not tapped in.
That's all I could think. Ding, Fraser, done.
There's no legitimate excuse why modding was taken out was taken out of the Call of Duty series. It's been the same engine, so with a slight few enhancements, there should be no reason that the modding capabilities have changed so much between World at War and whatever the next one was.
It's because they monetize DLC.
Yeah, you got the
You can't
DLC,
charge people $15 a time if they can make their own maps.
and then they would have to implement servers to run your modded maps,
Mhm.
which would cost them money.
And, you know, God forbid they spend money.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see like any other reason besides greed. Really, it's like,
Because
hey,
there isn't
we can,
one.
yeah, we can make more money.
That's it.
That's another person I'd love to talk to. One of the people sort of behind Call of Duty, the series, to say like, hey, why did you all take modding out? And I'd love to hear that argument.
We used to have contacts at those companies, but
Yeah,
maybe
but
not so much anymore.
They would never give you a real answer either, because nobody
No,
knew.
that's true.
Everybody had their own opinion, just like we have our own opinion, even in the companies themselves. All right, jumping over to something else, we have a weird thing going on here. Gmod is some sort of utility that used to allow you to keep track of all your installed mods, as well as help you create your own mods. Now, basically what it was a system for, I don't know, just say, here's a mod, install it, and then it's already installed for the game, so you can just play it to make it a little bit easier to use, as opposed to you having to download it and put it into the correct folders and do whatever you need to do from there. And I remember talking to somebody from Gmod, was that last year? 2 years ago.
A couple years ago at ArenaNet.
Yeah, when we were at the ArenaNet Studios.
thing.
And so now what they're doing is, last April, which was a month or two ago, they opened up a Kickstarter so that they could get some money to, I don't know, I thought they were already done with whatever they were doing, and now they want money to do what they've already done, another Kickstarter issue.
Because it's Kickstarter.
And they want $75,000 to do this, by the way. And they got $13,000 of it when somebody turned around and saying that Garry's mod is an issue, because Gmod and Garry's mod are not the same thing. Garry's mod is a source engine type system that allows you to fool around with the Half-Life type characters and some Team Fortress 2 and just do whatever you want with them within that. So these are two completely different systems, and they're saying that the name is too close to each other, because some people will talk about Garry's mod as Gmod, and Gmod is actually something completely different, and there's some sort of battle, and they're saying, well, somebody's going to take somebody else to court. I didn't even know who was going to take who to court. I think it was Garry's mod was going to take Gmod to court or something like that.
No, Gmod is taking Garry's mod to court because they copyrighted the name. But they copyrighted the name after Garry's mod, and also
is it not
almost half
Garry's
a decade
mod and then Gmod? There's two separate names.
Yeah,
People shorten Garry's mod to Gmod. That's not the name of it.
Yeah.
Though.
But here's again, this is my issue with it, and this was something we discussed shortly after meeting this guy from Gmod. What he is offering is a download cataloging service that will basically install the mods into their deep directories without you having to go and do it. So he's providing an installation tool and an archive library or whatever. You're not going to be able to create new mods with this thing. You're going to be able to create the ability to install and move those mods along. And he is trying, and what I didn't like about this was he was trying to monetize, and he's still trying to monetize, other people's mods. So for example, you create a map for World at War. You put it on Gmod, he's going to charge 50 cents to download your map. Are you going to get any of that? No, he does, because he's offering this service that is, all you got to do is click on it and it's going to install over there.
Or now, you could, go out and use one of the countless free ones.
Why even use one? Just copy the zip file to where it needs to go and you're done.
Well, but
the README says exactly where it needs to go.
Yeah, that's precisely what his service is. He's trying to make it so that mods aren't complicated. Mods are not complicated, and most people that want mods or use mods know exactly where they've got to go. Or the instructions with the mod comes, hey, you have to put this in this folder, and you're done. ding, fries are done. Yeah, 2 years ago I thought this is not going to go anywhere. Now it's still not going anywhere, and he's looking for Kickstarter money so that I just don't get it. It's a download service. It's a cataloging service that is an installation tool. Really, that's all it is. And it's only going to be good for games that were developed up until 2008. Because what else is supporting mods right now that's not built in? Nothing is coming out. Right, so it's all old titles.
Yeah,
Well,
correct.
Yeah, it's true. True enough. I
And
mean,
with
like,
all the new titles that do, they're being supported by
Well-
Steam Workshop most of the time now.
yeah.
Exactly.
And like Armor has Play with 6, which is essentially the same thing as this. But you know what the cool bit is? It's free. You can install the mods for you, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if a piece of software came out called KOTOR that was like a Photoshop clone or something. I don't see EA and BioWare saying, "Hey, you can't name this KOTOR because our game is named Knights of the Old Republic." It's like, yeah.
So this is kind of the other way around though. Like the software guy, the download service or whatever, is calling out essentially Valve, saying, "Hey, you've stole our name."
Oh, is that what's going on?
I think that's what's going on.
I thought it was Garry.
Yeah,
So-
no, and Gary's just kind of like, no. Pretty much what this is, I think Stryder hit kind of along the same lines, is he's tried to monetize this, it hasn't worked, so now he's trying to figure out some other way to get some money.
Well, it's not going to go to court. I think I read somewhere that the guy to Gmod was saying it was going to go to court. Now he's turned around and said, "Well, if this is actually going to hit the courts, then I'm not going to follow through with this. That wasn't the idea. I'll just rebrand instead."
Well,
so I don't know. It's
the article says,
he's
"Are you
hoping for some
giving
money.
him Kickstarter so he can take it to court? Because that's what your funding money is going to pay for his lawyers."
Exactly. My suspicion with that is he went, "I'm going to take this to court," and the Gary's Mod guy went, you know,
Okay,
all right,
bring it,
let's
bitch.
do it. Yeah. And he went, "Oh no, I was only joking. I'll because you're essentially not just suing the Gary's Mod guy, you're suing Valve, which I don't want to get in a legal battle with Valve. No, thank you."
As he's wearing a shirt that is
Yeah, good.
Hercules battles.
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't think of that. That's quite funny.
Yeah.
If you, yeah, if you sue a company like Valve over something as silly as this, then I don't think anybody's going to want to use your product afterwards.
That is, yeah, to me, it is literally, I couldn't make any money by charging people 50 cents or whatever to use my modding or my mod download service, and now I can, but this is named the same as, I can make some money off this.
Okay, moving on. Also having to do with the whole Valve stuff, we have Half-Life 2 is now ready with Oculus Rift support. No big surprise. So now more games of yours can
Now you can puke
cause you
playing
to
another
puke.
game.
I still think we got to come up with that that stick the can to your mouth so that you can puke while you're playing and not get yourself dirty.
We could start a Kickstarter that's like vomit bags that you get on airplanes. Like, we could market it as a gaming sick bag. Comes with a
Yep.
drink holder.
Looks like a Dorito.
Just a gross combination. You got vomit in my drink cup. You got drink cup in my vomit holder.
You know, you got to flush
Comes with
after.
like we
I can
could
see that working outside. Just
we could take
cut,
apart,
numbers.
we could take apart, the ball in the mouth gag things and use the strap for those to like strap it to your face.
What's fucking wrong with you?
He's just got a few lying around. He needs to do something with.
I've got a couple of lying around.
I was more thinking one of those things you see at the supermarket with the big roll of clear bags on it that you put the produce in. It just kind of hangs there, and after you puke, you just twist it and tear it off, and it's ready for the next one.
Like a diaper genie, a llama genie.
A diaper genie. There you go.
I guess this was expected to have the Rift included in like Half-Life or Valve's upcoming first-person shooters or existing ones. When can we get the Oculus Rift? When can we get? I mean, can we still buy it now?
Hey, you can get the dev version of it for. Actually, no, you can't anymore. It was only to the Kickstarter peoples. So until it goes commercial, buddy, you're.
I don't even know when that date is that it's supposed to be going commercial. Has anyone? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You should be able to check them out at your library soon. There's probably available on eBay with everybody that's bought them, and they're like, "Well, this is crap."
Because by the time this comes out, libraries will still exist.
Touche.
Yeah, so it's just
There you go.
It's just at this point I'm almost getting tired of hearing like, oh, I love it.
Oh, bad
That's
time
exactly
to drink.
that was exactly what I was thinking. One of those you can like, we'll get Activision on it, and they can like stamp Call of Duty on the side.
You can buy the Oculus
That's
Rift.
actually the mask you get with the new Call of Duty game, isn't it?
The Oculus Rift development kit is on sale for $375 on eBay.
Wow. Okay.
How much did you pay for it, Foil?
300.
Too much.
So
I
$75
just
bucks
wish you
more.
had paid for it.
I'm increasingly hearing of all these things with Oculus Rift support, or it will include Oculus Rift support, and it's just like, well, everybody, like nobody has an Oculus Rift, so that's cool that you can support it, but yeah, you do.
At the office, not here at home.
That's good. That's good. Oculus Ralph. That's funny.
All right.
You could just develop some sort of like gas mask combo that's like the rift in the top part, and then the vomit containing device in the bottom bit, and headphones in it. So when you just put the whole thing on, it's basically turned into a helmet.
It'd be perfect with Metro. Yeah, last light.
Yeah, which comes out on Tuesday. I'm very excited.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I also heard that Iron Man 3 was pretty good, really good, which just came out this last week. Anyway,
I'm gonna go see it on Wednesday.
moving on. We still also have something else here from Valve, who says they're experimenting on tracking people's sweat glands as they play games or something like that. Isn't that what this was about? They're measuring people's sweat as they play.
Yeah.
Biofeedback.
Sweat and some other things.
And just
Does this take into account DeVito sweats or?
Dorito sweat.
You can, if your sweat's coming out orange, man.
You're eating too many.
I just
Too many
imagine
Doritos.
Valve's got like a lab somewhere where they've got like fat kids running on treadmills, and they're squeeging
them down.
Yeah.
Squeegeeing, you know what? And they're taking all that fat kid sweat, and Gabe's just drinking it in. He's like, "Oh, give me more."
Oh, God.
What kind of twisted idea?
It's what happens when you give us like slim pickings on topics.
Eventually, just gonna end up like the bloater out of Left 4 Dead. Just pops.
Oh, jeez.
Now, here's the thing that I gathered from the article. It was that they're using the data that they gather from people wearing these different devices, and they're just feeding that back into the game versus like instead developing devices for people to wear. So it's kind of like they're just doing it for research, but you won't ever be able to wear something that will take into account your heart rate or something like that.
I don't want a device that measures my sweat while I'm playing. Sorry.
No.
Not really.
I don't want that.
It's really hot out.
Yeah.
So when I first saw this, I thought it was so they can find out which parts of the game people are finding the most exciting or most tense, and then sort of replicating that through other games. But
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what they're doing.
I don't know. I still think Valve's got like a crazy ideas machine, and they just hit a button and it just comes up with something really weird.
Maybe they got like 2 separate wheels and they just kind of spin them
But
both.
yeah, like fortune wheels, and they just spin them. Sweat on one and then monitor it on the other.
Yeah.
I think sci-fi. Sci-fi channel does the same thing with their movies. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Shark.
Wolfenstein. Anyway, the New Order is the new game that's supposed to be under development, and they're putting this thing together. They're going to skip over the multiplayer portion of the game because you don't need that. Wolfenstein was never about playing in multiplayer, right?
Well, the last Wolfenstein game that came out had multiplayer, and it was fucking atrocious.
You know what? I don't even remember it was so bad, but I remember complaining about it.
I did not even play it because you two bought it and were like, just don't.
I've yet to beat it. It was a competent game, but nothing special about it. It did not deserve the Wolfenstein name. Just based solely on its mediocreness. The multiplayer I gave it a play or two. It was a very gimmicky game. That was the one where you could all of a sudden be in either a frozen time bubble or a gravityless bubble. Yeah.
And it was just it was like, oh.
Well, there was a
happening repeatedly.
Warren Spector happens to be a guy who's out there who's known for working on video games, making video games, which like Deus Ex. Okay, he was one of the leads in Deus Ex, and he went along and said, what did he say? He says, when Wolfenstein was announced, he says, he asked the world, "Do we really need another Wolfenstein game that it's so tired of generically dark, monochromatic FPS, kill the Nazi giant robot games?" And yes, he had to come back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put down the developers who are putting this game together."
But you know what?
It's a good question.
I agree with this comment, and I'm going to take it one step further. But do we really need another Call of Duty title that is the same rehashed storyline now that is just a button-mashing escapade to the end with less features, more dollars? Do we really need that? No, we don't. We don't. But you know what? They're not gonna walk away from a franchise title. Activision's not going to walk away from that. EA's not going to walk away from Wolfenstein.
I think he goes on to say that that he just has a general frustration with there being too many shooters today. So I think he agrees with you wholeheartedly. Stryder.
Yeah, I'll take this a little bit further and say I'm actually quite sick of franchise games now. At least I'm sick of hearing the word franchise.
But you do understand the franchise.
Oh,
So
why would you not? I mean, it's from a money standpoint, it's amazing.
But what happens to that, though, is everybody gets tired of it, and then they say, "Oh, well, the game industry is dying." Well, who's killing it? You're not injecting any new ideas. You're not injecting any sort of reason to come out and play your game instead of theirs, because if you're going to play FPS games, you've got your shooters, and they're all the fucking same. If you're going to play RTS games, they're all the fucking same. The general principle that nobody is coming out with the wow thing. It's like, wow, that is wow, got to do that. And if it is, it comes up and it's like, wow, that's awesome, and then it's like, that's all that this game is that over and over, and it gets tired fast. Nobody is saying, hey, let's take something, or let's make something. Maybe we've got nothing left. Maybe there is nothing left for us gamers.
No, that's not it. Because like Morpheus is saying, that would be the same for movies. So there's nothing left for movies either.
Well, what have you seen that's new and exciting for new movies? The stories are all the same now. It's either they're in space or they're in the future or in the past, or like. But the story is always the same, with either more explosions or more drama love scenes, or like even horrors aren't horrors anymore. There is no horror. It's just, hey, let's play a really loud sound and scare people that way, because everybody is so desensitized to visual horror and mental horror that the only way we can shock them is to scare the shit out of them with a sound that's 700 decibels louder than what they were just listening to. Mm-hmm. And the gore is corn. Like, man, corn. That movie that we went to, Foyle, there was less corn in Oprah Winfrey's Less Stool after like an Oktoberfest.
That's horror.
It was the remake. It was the remake of Evil Dead that we saw.
It was.
So
was there? Wow. But it wasn't scary at all.
No, it wasn't scary. I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was supposed to be or not. I mean, the original one was supposed to be scary, and it turned out to be a cult classic because it was the opposite of scary.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
There needs to be some creativity in this industry, in all industries, because if you're trying to just keep milking that same thing over and over, people are going to get tired of it, and then you're going to sit there and whine and say, "It's not working," and we need to reboot it. Well, you needed to fucking reboot it a long time ago when you guys decided to dick everybody around and just line your pockets. Stop lining your pockets so much and putting so much cash into promoting your piece of shit, and fucking develop something that people are going to play, and it'll speak for itself.
Okay. Well, here's what I am going to say. Here's the direction I'm going to bring it back towards, because even though I agree with everything you're saying, absolutely agree. And from what we know so far, from what we know so far, this Wolfenstein has no connection to the 2009 reboot. So this is yet another reboot. So far from what we know, which is not much. But the developers behind it, Machine Games, they're composed of ex-Starbreeze talent, and Starbreeze makes some absolutely phenomenal first-person shooters. What is that game? The Riddick games, Syndicate, Chronicles of Riddick, which I haven't played Dark Athena all the way through, the second one, but the first one was great, very good. Syndicate, which I just recently finished and beat, which got a lot of hatred, was an absolutely fantastic game. It's like a lot of people just didn't play it at all.
Check that out. It's
fantastic.
It's on Origin though, and I just kind of can't bring myself to go with it.
It's a necessary evil I dealt with because the game was good enough. And In the Darkness, those are three of Starbreeze's high-profile games, and they were amazing. They were just amazing first-person shooters, well done from almost from top to bottom. So I'm excited for this next Wolfenstein game, just based on who's developing it. If they didn't mention Starbreeze or ex-Starbreeze talent, then I would have sort of just passed it. Like, all right, whatever, it's another Wolfenstein game. But the development team behind it, I think, is gonna make a good game. That's my hope, at least. So, do we need innovation? Yes. I think these are the guys that can potentially give it to us. That's all I'm saying.
If you're contracted to make a turd, and you know it's going to be a turd, but the money is there to make that turd, you're going to make that turd because you're getting paid to. Whether or not it's what you want to do, or whether or not it's you could know in your mind that what this customer is asking for is not going to work. No one's going to play it. No one's going to like it. As long as you're getting your paycheck, you don't give a shit. Just because you're from an agency or from a company, or your background is doing all this great work, if someone says, "Hey, I want you to make this turd," well, I'm a gourmet chef, but you want me to make a turd? I get paid by the hour. Here's your turd. I'm walking away from it.
And that's a good point, a really good point. And I think that comes down to how much creativity they're given. Because if they're saying, "Hey, look, we know you're great at making these other things, but we need you to make that turd. And they're like, okay, we're going to make the turd. But if they're like, hey, we know you make great things, make something amazing with the turd title, then they have the possibility.
We have the worst analogies here, and we run with them, but they are horrible analogies.
Yes, they are.
I understand what you're saying, and you can hold out that hope, but I mean, we held out that hope that Treyarch would stand their ground and continue their because Treyarch was a modding based studio. It was developed by modders. It was all modding people that were in Treyarch.
Right.
Corporate took over and said, you know what? Yeah, you guys can say that all you want, but hey, we're corporate and we're saying no, you're not doing that, and that's the end of it.
True.
And now they are just another grinder pooping out these titles on a semi-annual basis. Because you've got Treyarch doing it, Infinity Ward doing it, whatever's left of them, Sledgehammer. They're all pooping out these Call of Duty titles on an annual to semi-annual basis. They're all the same title.
You're right about that. Agreed. I've got hopes.
Well, I hope that your hopes and dreams don't get dashed against a rock like... I'm not even going to... I was gonna go all gross on that one, but I won't.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Got the turd, so I thought now.
Oh, I could have gone way lower than the turd one, buddy. So I wasn't gonna. I'll just.
And a word of wisdom: don't go looking for an image of turd on a disc. Just for the show to.
You will end up in not a nice place.
Anyway, all right.
We got you box art for the new Call of Duty.
We got to wrap up so that
a duck on a disc.
So that moms can be thanked. What happened where?
Why is okay? It just Twitch glitched.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to wrap things up. I want to thank our host for taking the time out to chat. Thank you very much, Welshy, for joining us today.
No problem.
Tam, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Breesy, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
And Stryder, thank you for making it for the show and holding out to the end here.
It's always an adventure. Insta poop.
I am not going to look that one up either. All right, finally, I want to thank you, the fans of MODSonair.com and the subscribing members of ModsOnline.com for making this show possible. Go say hello to your mothers and wish them the best. Go play some games and have some fun. Bye. Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at ModsOnAir.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@ModsOnAir.com. And please consider subscribing to ModsOnline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.